Hey everyone, welcome to the Roto Grinders Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevie TPFL. It's September, it's the 26th, it's 2016. We have 10 baseball games to talk about tonight. For those of you still playing baseball, grinding out here with us here towards the end of the year, we got everything you need to know about tonight's slate, and it's an interesting slate with not a lot of pitching. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. Couple housekeeping notes. The podcast is now sponsored by Rosters.com. If you guys haven't checked out Rosters.com, make sure you guys head on over to Rosters. Check them out. Use promo code GRINDERS. They are giving away a all-expenses-paid trip for two to the Super Bowl, so make sure you guys head on over there. Check that out. All you have to do is play $100 or more in NFL for the whole entire week, and then you'll get one entry into the championship event in Week 7. If you cash in the kickoff GPP, the $25 tournament on Rosters, you'll also get a one-entry ticket. So that way you guys can pick up some tickets. Week 7, everybody's going to play for that championship. Play for that all-expenses-paid trip to the Super Bowl. And, man, nothing like just, playing fantasy to win a trip to the Super Bowl. Can't beat that. So it's Monday. It means the Siege is here. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, what sounds really good? You play 4 of those $25 entries, you lock up one ticket, and then if you can cash 2, you lock up another 2 and break even. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that Super Bowl trip. But Siege, Friday was a good day for us. We were able to make it 1-2. It could be 2-1 either way. I'm not gonna make excuses, and I'm not going to say anything else. But the series between Cardi and us and Dean, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people are having fun following along. We're having fun. Me and you were talking a lot Friday night. Derek and Dean were talking a lot Friday night, and we're sweating this more than we're sweating anything else.
Yeah, this is basically all my baseball at this point. I'll play 1 or 2 lineups for fun, but I'm really focusing on this, and I haven't had this much fun in baseball in months. So I might have to start doing this on a regular basis next year to kind of get a sweat and get the blood flowing a little bit more during that grind.
I know, right? Just so everybody knows, there are some jelly beans behind this. This isn't just a free contest. We're playing for some jelly beans. So it's a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to beat them again tonight. This is kind of our slate here again. They don't really have that pitcher to pay up for, so this is kind of setting up for us here.
Yeah, first look on the slate is I thought this was a really good slate for Team Crazy, so I feel pretty good about this one.
All right, we'll start with Chicago at Pittsburgh. Kyle Hendricks, Chad Cole. You like Cole in his last start. It'd be interesting to see what the Cubbies roll out here.
Yeah, and it really depends on what the Cubbies roll out here. If they roll out one of their weaker right-handed heavy lineups, I certainly will have interest in Pittsburgh. The price didn't move. That walk-up against Milwaukee was a dream matchup. Right-handed heavy, high strikeout guys. The Cubs can do that with certain lineup variations, but we still have to see what it is.
Yeah, for sure. They wrapped up win number 99 last night, so the Cubs are they're in a great spot. So you're gonna really have to. It's coming to that point of the season where you really have to pay attention to what the lineups look like every day. Some teams are wanting to see what they have in some of these young guys. Some teams are resting some of their veterans for the playoffs. It's just one of those things you really got to pay attention to. And the Cubs here now, they've clinched the division and they clinched the best record. So this is a time for them to rest these guys.
And they're coming off Sunday Night Baseball to boot.
Yep. And they're coming off Sunday Night Baseball. That is a good point. On the flip side here, Kyle Hendricks is not in play for me tonight. This is a good matchup for him at Pittsburgh, getting a ballpark bump. Realistically, what is his pitch count here?
He could be throwing 120 pitches. I'm not paying $12K for him on our rival, where we're playing our head-to-head. Dream on. No chance.
He's expensive everywhere. He's one of the most expensive pitchers on Rosters. He's one of the most expensive pitchers on FanDuel, DraftKings. He's priced up everywhere. And like you said, not only is you're paying this high price tag, but you just don't know. It's Joe Madden. He's not going to let Hendricks go over 100 pitches here.
No, they got to start lining up their rotation for the playoffs. So there's just no chance. There's just literally no chance. I really have no other way to explain it other than that.
Guess the last time you threw 100 pitches.
Was it that game on that doubleheader day? I don't remember when that was.
August 13th.
Let's see. Let me pull that now that I'm not cheating. I can pull that up. That was against the Cardinals. I think that was maybe the doubleheader day. Maybe not though.
All I'm saying is it's been over a month since he's thrown over 100 pitches in a game.
Yeah, I think that was the Saturday game. Oh, that was that random Saturday day slate too. Yeah, no, like I just, like he hasn't thrown over 100 pitches. Yeah, I mean he has been throwing upper 90s, which is good for him. He used to be throwing like those 85s. He hasn't been doing that lately, which is kind of nice. But as they start winding down for the postseason, I can't imagine he throws much more than 95.
If this was game one of the playoffs, I would have Kyle Hendricks in my lineups.
Wow, I think you have much more respect for Hendricks in this spot than I do. It only took the Pirates 6 months, but they finally figured out the right lineup combination recently.
Well, it's just injuries. Polanco's banged up. Marte's banged up. Harrison's banged up. They have to roll out that left-handed lineup.
Well, I was just being polite. I was trying to be nice about it.
All right, let's talk bats here in this game. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Cubs roll out. If they do roll out Rizzo, Bryant, Fowler, I definitely think they're in play here.
The ballpark's just so messy. The weather isn't great either. I think I'm going to find a pass here, even on a shorter slate.
Listen, I think that a fade here is definitely something that you could do and not think twice about.
I'm just paying top-end prices for the Cubs. Other than, I guess, Addison Russell or Chris Bryant, like they're under 5K and under 4K respectively on DraftKings. I could see that, but I would have to have real confidence that Team Chalk is going to play one of them, and then we might do it for a block.
I don't know. Cardi doesn't like PNC at all, so we'll have to see here.
That's good. We can just all fade the game, and then I'll feel much better about it.
Any interest here on any of the Pirates bats? Like we're not picking on Hendricks, right? Like he's still pitching really well.
Adam Frazier 2.6. Any interest?
I guess a little interest there. Is that on DraftKings?
Yeah. Matt Joyce 3K.
Little interest.
He's been cold, so probably not. It'd probably be just like, oh, okay, hold on, I got the guy. You love playing this guy, even though he hasn't done much lately. But I promise you, I said we were going to fade this game, but I don't think you're going to let me do this. What do you think Josh Bell's price is?
Min salary.
Close. 2.2.
Oh, God. I don't know. I really don't like the spot for him.
I don't either, but the price is certainly uber tempting.
We'll have to see if we need it, though. With the pitching on today's slate, we'll have to see if we need it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lineup construction. If you end up needing a punt, though, that's definitely the way to go.
Arizona at Washington, Tanner Roark, Archie Bradley. Kind of any thoughts here? Washington kind of locked in now. They've clinched the division. It'd be interesting to say the type of lineup they roll out, but I expect normal business here from the Nationals.
Yeah, is Archie Bradley good at holding on runners?
I'd have to look it up. We always forget to pull up that chart.
I always forget to pull up the chart too, and I never remember until I always hit my first question. You would think by now I would know what's going on, but I don't. Let me see here.
Oh, I'm seeing now that Harper injured his thumb on Sunday, so he might not be in the lineup, and Murphy was out of the lineup with a leg injury too on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't see Archie Bradley on this list here. I don't know why, but I'll have to look it up. But I just have a recollection he's not good. But if there's no Harper, there's no Murphy. This lineup could get very weak in a hurry.
Archie Bradley has a really decent strikeout rate against righties too, 25.5%. Still a hard contact rate of 34%. His struggles is lefties. If we see 6, 7, 8 righties in this lineup for Washington, which is very possible here, does Archie Bradley pique your interest for tournaments?
Yes. Let's reverse the question. If we get the terrible left-handed lineup that, rest in peace, really super sad, and I just came up because it's the same. What if they roll up that lefty lineup that Jose Fernandez saw? What's your interest level in the Nationals bats then? And
I don't know. Like his contact rate goes way up, and his strikeout rate goes way down. His hard contact WOBA way up. Like even bad lefties, I worry about Archie Bradley.
I do too, and I think they're all super cheaply priced too, which kind of if you need some value. Like Ben Revere, if Bradley can't hold anybody on at 3.1, would kind of be interesting if he batted near the top. So Again, it really comes down to lineup construction. If there's righties, I want Bradley. If there's lefties, I have interest in the bats.
Looking at the other side of this game, any interest in Rourke?
Any interest in Roark? Not at that price point.
But where do you really pick on him too? That's the problem. Like he is, I'm not going to say elite, but he's really good at getting soft contact and ground balls against righties. And when we look at this lineup, Segura, Goldschmidt, Tomas, Beef, like it's a pretty right-handed heavy lineup.
Yeah, man, if our boy David Peralta was still not injured, that'd be great. But kind of a lost season for him. But yeah, there's really no lefty there that really make that I want to roster. So I think it's kind of a stay away, to be honest. I wonder what the total is here. I normally look at totals before the pod, but I didn't today. I was trying to do something a little different here with my research process, trying to make some tweaks heading into next year. 8.5. Wow, Rourke's a massive favorite. That's interesting.
I bet you if Murphy and Harper are not in the lineups, I bet you the totals goes down.
Yeah, if that total goes down, though, and Roark's still minus 200, I might have to re-examine that, even at 10-4.
I have interest. I really do. Because the lefty you worry about is Jake Lamb, and he's ice cold.
The question is, are they just going to shut him down early for the playoffs? That's always the concern with guys that are in the playoff hunt. So you got to factor that in, too.
That's definitely a concern. I don't know. A lot of interest here for me. Even in his last start, 86 pitches and still put up 20 DraftKings points in that start.
Oh, when did Washington clinch the division? Was that today or yesterday?
I think it was Saturday.
Okay, then that's not a concern. Normally, after a team clinches a division or a playoff berth, the lineup gets very shaky the next day for obvious reasons.
For sure, unless you're the Red Sox and you just want to keep rolling people.
That was just so awesome. They're just like, no, we're just gonna keep on rolling. We're only one. We're tied now for best record in AL. We could somehow get home field throughout here.
Oh, the Red Sox. It's a good time to be a Red Sox fan. It's not a good time to be a Yankees fan, and they're heading into Detroit or into Toronto. We have Tanaka against J.A. Happ. I haven't rostered Tanaka much this year, and I don't think I'm going to start tonight.
Is Tanaka going to make this start?
I would be shocked. I know he's been dealing with a forearm injury. I just don't see him. I don't know.
So what I got here from the 22nd is – forearm injury is a slight strain on the flexor mass, not located near an intimate. The Yankees will have Tanaka hold off on throwing for 5 days. Well, that was 4 days ago or 3 days ago. So
I blame FanDuel. It's Cervino, according to MLB.
Okay, so let's talk about Cervino. He's been getting. Let's see what his price is over here on. Let's get out of probable pitchers only, which is always a fun part of DraftKings here. He's 5,200 against Toronto. Yeah, the pitch count will probably be high. He's probably only going to get 50. So, and then you get the Yankees bullpen, which is nothing to write home about. So it's probably just Toronto bats, and Toronto bats.
I think Toronto's a good stack here. A team like Toronto that is still fighting for a playoff spot. So I think they're still in the wild card hunt, right?
They are 1.5 games up on they're in the first wild card spot, 1.5 up on Baltimore.
So
3 games clear of Detroit.
7-3 in their last 10 games. I think the Toronto stack is definitely usable here.
And the interesting part is their price for Tanaka too.
Oh man, are they really?
Well, the ones that are not super elite. So your E5 still cost you, your Donaldson still cost you, your Bautista still cost you. But anybody else, like Michael Saunders, 3.5.
Oh, buddy.
Russell Martin, 3.9. Tulo, 3.8. So those are all interesting plays over there.
Travis 4K on DraftKings too.
Yeah, no.
Looking at Happ here, like we just said, we want teams that are needing to win games. I haven't used Happ a lot this season, but I actually don't hate the play here against the Yankees.
Or we could just play Gary Sanchez the GOAT.
We are going to play Gary Sanchez the GOAT for sure.
I don't care that he's 4,600. A lefty in Toronto. He hasn't homered in 3 days. The people are going to start to say he's regressing again, so he's going to have to take care of some business here.
Outside of that, though, the lineup's pretty weak.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch a single Yankee other than Gary Sanchez.
I think Happ's in play. I really do. We'll move on.
Yeah, he definitely is in play. He makes me so queasy.
He does. If he can get around Sanchez or just give up a solo home run or two, like it's not going to kill him.
I'm gonna pull my inner Dean, and like if he was 1,000 cheaper, I'd have a lot more interest.
Oh man, Cleveland at Detroit. Corey Kluber, Buck Farmer. Is Kluber the number one today? Even in Detroit?
Yes.
I think that sums it up, right? Like he's the guy you're wanting to pay up for today.
Let's see. Buck Farmer, not very good at pitching. Although actually he would be in a decent spot if he was facing a right-handed heavy team, but he's not. He's facing a left-handed heavy team. And you've got Corey Kluber on the other side versus a right-handed heavy lineup that loves to strike out. Yeah, that sounds like a good spot for Kluber.
You know what else I think too? A little bit of narrative street. I think Cleveland clinches the division over Detroit if they win tonight.
Oh, it's fine. I actually pulled up my standings because I knew this would happen. Yes, the magic number is 1, so a win will get the job done for Corey Kluber.
Oh man, Kluber is gonna have a big game tonight.
He's gonna give up a 2-run home run at some point, but you won't notice by the end of the night.
I like Kluber a lot in this spot. Like to clinch the division, like the Tigers are still fighting for a playoff spot too, but they're rolling out Buck Farmer and Cleveland's rolling out Corey Kluber.
I really think you just illustrated everything.
Bats in this game, Jose Ramirez, I don't mind him, but Carlos Santana and Jason Kipnis are the 2 bats I'm going to focus on here.
Santana and Kipnis. Do you have your sheet in front of you, by the way? I know I got 2 of the home run derby picks. Who was the 3rd?
Oh, let's see.
Was it Chris Davis with a K? Might have broke my heart.
No, you had Freeman, Poppy, and Ramirez.
Freeman, Poppy,
we
and
both
Ramirez.
love Jose Ramirez, and we didn't play him on Friday. Still won, though.
I know Poppy and Ramirez homered.
Freeman did not.
He didn't. Oh, you actually kept track of the score for once?
No, Freeman's was the chalk and didn't home run.
Freeman was the chalk? That's like the more shocking than the fact he didn't homer.
Yeah, him and Chris Davis. You don't remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were debating Chris Davis. Oh, yes. That's right. So, either way, though, love me some lefties here. They're all priced to the nose, so I think they'll be a little low-owned. You know, for a season in which I've not liked the Indians a ton, lately I've been kind of just riding the Indians.
You know why? Because you finally came over to the dark side and seen what I've been seeing all year.
Well, it's just like they're just playing these terrible righties that can't get any lefties out. It's just been like the game selection, I guess.
Pulling up BVP here real quick. I thought so. Miguel Cabrera owns Corey Kluber. 21 for 45 with 5 home runs, batting .467 against Kluber. I'm gonna, man. Those numbers are a little scary. I can't lie to you.
Well, we already said he was going to give up a 2-run home run, so we worried about it.
I'm not too worried, but now I have a little interest in Miguel Cabrera. Even though, I will say one thing. I just pulled up the BVP over the last 2 years. He's 4 for 15 with 1 home run. Corey Kluber's pitched. He's dominated the Detroit Tigers over the last 2 years.
Let me just say this now. Dean, if you're listening to the pod, shoot me the head-to-head.
We're playing Kluber against them, right?
I would assume so, but I just want to make sure that we don't end up with Miggy against them.
No, we're not going to play Miggy.
Well, if the head-to-head's in my control, then I know it's going to happen. And plus, we've got the narrative street. We're 1-0 when the head-to-head's been sent to me.
I'm superstitious. You're getting the head-to-head for sure. Lindor, I don't mind these guys tonight. Looking at the Detroit side of things, like it's a matchup with Kluber. I hate to pick off one-offs, but there's one-off that I really don't hate here, and it's Justin Upton. He's streaky. We talk about it all the time. He's a streaky hitter, and he's streaking right now. So, I do not mind Justin Upton as a one-off in a tournament.
Yeah, totally fine.
And that's kind of it. So let's move on. And, man, this one's going to be tough to talk about without trying to get teary. I told Siege I had to push the podcast back tonight because I just kept reading stories about Jose Fernandez, and it's one of the most tragic things. And it puts life in perspective. We talk about fantasy every day, and we talk about these guys, and they're still real human beings, and they're pro athletes, and they have families and stuff. And what happened with Jose Fernandez is it's heavy on the heart, and prayers out to his family. I can't imagine his mother and grandmother and girlfriend. I just can't imagine it. You've seen the respect throughout the MLB on Sunday, and I expect that to happen for the rest of the season. This game's in Miami. It's really hard to analyze this game because you just kind of take the stats out of this game. There's going to be so much emotion in this game that it's a tough game. We have Cologne. We have Adam Conley. Like, what do we do with this game, CJ?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, I mean,
It's just like
the Marlins aren't even out of the playoff picture yet. It's like,
well, that's why Fernandez was pushed back to pitch this game. This game means a lot. Like this is the two teams fighting for a playoff spot. Well, it's technically like four teams, but the Mets are one. They're at the top, and Marlins are fourth.
I really don't know what to do.
Like I said, this game, I had thought about this on the way home today while I was traveling. It's a hard game to analyze because you really have to take the stats out. There's going to be so much emotion in this game. The guy that stands out to me that I think that I'm going to probably play in a majority of my teams tonight is Stanton. Like, I have a hard time thinking that Stanton's not going to bang one out here.
So there actually is a line for this game, which I thought was a tad surprising. Have you seen it yet?
I'm guessing it's low.
Yeah, take a guess at the total.
7.5.
Higher.
8.5.
Yeah, it's a toss-up. That's really interesting.
Well, now I'm seeing Tom Kohler and I'm seeing Conley. Like,
I think Conley was just going to come back on Sunday, but I guess they could. Kohler's not on normal rest though. Oh, I guess he would be, right? They inserted Conley to push Jose back, so Kohler would still be on normal day rest.
I don't know. I'm pulling up and seeing when was the last time he pitched.
I think it was Thursday because I think it was like day 2 of the head-to-head.
It was the 21st. So he's on normal rest here. He actually could pitch tonight.
So it's probably going to be Kohler. I can't imagine they're going to put Adam Conley in here on a must-win spot.
Coming off the DL?
Yeah, I can't imagine. So yeah, if we evaluate it that way.
Hey, they're saying that he's in line to take the start on Monday. Adam Conley is.
Yeah, they could change their mind though.
Well, all right. So let's talk about this game. It's tough to talk about. Let's talk about it. Colon, he's a guy that just goes out and pitches well. Like he doesn't usually get shelled, just pitches enough not to get shelled. And the thing is, like the Marlins bats have never faced Colon.
That's really bad news. He's one of those control guys that I always like can kind of just nibble his way around the plate. And if you're not patient and you haven't seen him before, like that's a real negative to me actually for the Miami bats. And it's just like there's just no chance they're gonna be able to we can't be focused on doing a podcast, let alone like the players that interacted with him on a day-to-day basis. And
I'm telling you right now, Stanton's banging one out. Like I'm taking first pick in the home run derby tonight, and it's going to be Stanton.
I think my favorite play in the game is TJ Rivera if Conley starts 2.7.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good price. He's been hitting well. Didn't they bump him up in the lineup the other day?
He's been batting like 5th or 6th too, and he's like the guy right now. And then,
multi hits in 3 of the last 5. Hits in 9 of his last 10. Like TJ Rivera, I know you got laughed at on the show last week when you mentioned his name, but if you look into the data a little bit, TJ Rivera is hitting the ball well right now.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, he doesn't do a lot else, so like he's got to score and get runs. But if Conley's making that start, I do think the Mets are going to score, and like I think every one of the Mets is kind of in play, but. This is just a weird spot. Like I just don't know if I really don't know if you can honestly just analyze this game in a normal way.
As I said, you got to kind of throw out the stats. Like this is something that's affected both sides. Like you have to think like Cespedes had a Fernandez jersey like taped to the dugout right when he came out of the dugout this afternoon on Sunday. So like this affects both teams. This is not just affecting the Marlins. Like I expected to be a sold out crowd in Miami tonight. And it's just.
I really hope so. Like I really hope Miami comes out in full force for this.
I think they will. I hope that the Marlins do a special thing where they charge $16 for the tickets and donate it to something, right? Like that would be really cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
All right, let's move on. The one thing that we can say about this game is it might be a really good game to kind of follow along with Vegas throughout the day, kind of see what the sharps are thinking. Like it's just a tough game. It's going to be emotional. Like I'm sorry. Like me and you try to break down every game that we can. It's just this one's really tough for me.
Yeah, and I feel like anything I'm saying is like I don't want to just say things to say things, and I just don't have anything intelligent to say.
Milwaukee at Texas, Martin Perez, Matt Garza. Yes, let's take some bats in this game.
Garza versus Martin Perez. Well, I hope you mean on the Texas side because you know what my deal is with Martin Perez.
I like Adrian Beltre a lot here. I don't know how popular he's going to be, but if I remember correctly, he really hits Garza well.
Yeah, and Martin Perez is kind of back to his normal ways of just like massive ground balls. I think this is a really good spot for him. Milwaukee gains the DH, so I have to step up for them. But it'll just be another right-hander that strikes out a ton. We know that Perez doesn't strike out a ton, but he also isn't one of those guys that normally walks a ton of guys. He's kind of a control ground ball type guy. So, again, pretty good spot here for him, but not saying to use him, but I don't really have a ton of interest in the Milwaukee bats, to be honest.
So, when you're analyzing stuff, you always look at stuff, and home ERA for Martin Perez this year, 265, away, 578, walks go way up, the K per walk rate goes way up on the road. Like, it's getting to the point of the season where we have almost 200 innings worth of data on this guy, and that stuff stands out to me a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. And we've got the Lucroy narrative as well here. First game against Milwaukee.
And he gets Garza. Oh, man. He gets Garza. All right, so the Texas bats here, Odor, Lucroy, Beltre. You can look at Desmond, Beltran. You can look at these guys here.
Gomez.
Yeah.
I think the only guy on that list I have any sort of qualms with is Odor. He's been frigid.
Yeah, but what has Matt Garza done for you lately?
He's been good, hasn't he?
I think he actually has.
He put him a -1 in his last start, but before that, he had been decent.
Yeah, see, the regression hit him a little bit. Now he's going to continue to sting. I think I've stacked against Garza every time this year. I'm not going to stop now.
I'm not saying that don't stack against him, but he's actually kind of one of those sneaky ground ball guys, too.
Yeah, well, I'm stacking against him.
Well, that's fine. That's why Dean's sending me the head-to-head.
That's right. On the other side, Milwaukee, super ground ball guy. One guy instantly stands out to me. Anytime there's a massive ground ball pitcher against him, Chris Carter is an elite tournament play here.
Yep.
You agreed.
And he's hot to boot. Chris Carter.
Is he hot? Oh, no.
Runs in his last 7.
Oh, no. I see an instance where Chris Carter makes our lineup.
Wow. You got a long way to go.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. I do want to note, like, we've been dealing with, 90-degree weather in Texas for, the last week or so. 77 at game time here. Oh, Chris Carter has BVP, too. 8 for 18 with 2 dongs.
Why does that surprise you?
It doesn't. Uber ground ball pitcher doesn't surprise me. Let's move on. Tampa at Chicago. Drew Smyly, James Shields. Drew Smyly, James Shields. Is Smyly in play here? I got you thinking about it now. You're thinking about it.
Yes? Question mark?
Who are you really afraid?
Jose Brame?
Yeah.
Todd Frazier?
No.
No?
I don't even worry about Frazier anymore. He gets 3 strikeouts and a home run. It's fine.
Don't. Tim Anderson can hit lefties. I mean, there's guys I'm worried about, but
you're reaching here.
I called this guy dreadful. I don't know if I could start just promoting him as a great play.
You know who leads the team in WOBA against lefties this year? Jason Coates. Alex Avila.
No, don't make me do this. Don't make me start. You know who's a good play? James Shields is a good play.
Oh, God.
I'm actually almost not as kidding as I probably should be. Like, I'm kidding mostly, other than the fact that the Tampa lineup is just awful.
You know who I love here that's going to dong one out on Shields? Brad Miller.
Yeah, this is a Brad Miller game. That's a good point. And now he's shortstop eligible again on DraftKings, too. That's a fair point. Yeah, it's a much better side to be on.
I'm not playing Shields. You're not playing Shields. I'm not letting you play Shields against Dean and them.
Oh, no. That was never going to happen. Don't worry about that.
Other bats here, like, is Corey Dickerson interesting at all to you? Like, we do have a matchup against Shields. He piques my interest a little bit.
Not that price point, though. The prices are all way too high for me to really consider other than Brad Miller.
All right. Anybody in the White Sox that you're even looking at here?
Not really. The guys scare you, and I'm certainly not going to click their names.
All right. Let's move on. Seattle at Houston. Iacuma against McHugh. Thing to note here that we need to watch the news for sore left wrist for Nelson Cruz. He expects to play Monday, but it's always, that's player talk. It's Nelson Cruz. If he's sore, are they going to have him in the lineup? So make sure you pay attention to that.
Well, they're 2.5 games out of a playoff spot, so I think if he can go, he's going to go. This is kind of a loser goes home match. These teams are both 2.5, 3 games out respectively in the wild card and facing each other for a couple games here. So, both teams could really knock each other out at this point. But Colin McHugh is boom or bust for Seattle. This Seattle team. He just boomed in his last start at Seattle, but he's been known to get roughed up here as well in this matchup. So it's really tough. Seattle struggles against the curveballs, but when they hit it, it goes a long way.
Yeah. He's made 3 starts against them this year, and the worst start he had, he gave up, or he's made 4 starts against them this year. Worst start he's given up was 2 earned runs.
Well, that's solid on the year. I know he got blown up last year by them. It was an epic fashion. I don't think he got out of the first.
Yeah, 0 in his last 13, 1 earned run in his last 20. Not a lot of strikeouts, though, except for the 10 strikeout game at Seattle on the 17th of June.
Yeah, I think a lot of the good starts have been at Seattle, too. So
I don't know, man. Like, looking at his game log, I worry that they've seen him so much now, and this game is so important. But on the flip side of that is, he has really good numbers against them this year.
Yeah, now you've got me curious. I remember looking at BVP, and I remember thinking it was like boom or bust. So
there's some home runs there, but I don't know how many that actually happened this year. Let's pull up this year's BVP real quick.
I'm sure it wasn't this year. Yeah, last year he got destroyed by them.
In 81 at-bats, the current Mariners this year batting 198 against him with 23 strikeouts. Robinson Cano 4 for 10 with 2 home runs. He's been the power bat against them.
Yeah, last year in 3 starts, ERA over 8, 6 home runs allowed. So it looks like it was all consolidated in last year in terms of the bad performances.
Yeah, dude. What's crazy about looking at his stats against him this year, the only RBIs he's given up are all to Cano. All 3 of them were to Cano. I don't know, man. I think that he's actually an interesting tournament player.
No, I definitely think he's an interesting play. Not disputing that. I don't want people to be like, oh, it's Colin McHugh, it's safe. The words Colin McHugh and safe don't go together.
There's no safe pitcher today. Even Kluber is not safe.
Yeah, but this is Colin McHugh. You could have negative 15 on your hands.
You could have negative 15, but you could also have 50.
I don't know if he could go for 50, but yeah.
Not on DraftKings. On FanDuel, he can go for 50.
When I meant negative 15, I meant negative 15 on DK. You can go. I've seen it. I rostered him. I watched it happen.
Oh, I'm sure that was painful.
And the pain was over very quickly when he didn't get out of the first inning.
His price is very fair as an SB2 on DraftKings too. And he's pitched
very fair price. It's a very fair price.
Pitched really well in his last 3 starts too.
A guy who's actually really not been pitching well of late at all, Iwakuma. But he was getting roughed up a little bit. Then he got some friendly starts, L.A., Oakland, L.A. But if you take out those super friendly starts, 2.1, negative $4.1, 8.1, 11, and 8 against competent offenses like Iwakuma's actually like drawn some of like the greatest starts of all time. He's faced LA and Oakland 5 times in his last 10. I think this is a Houston spot for tournaments today.
Yeah, stack him up in tournaments. I can definitely get behind that. I like Altuve in this spot. I think he's a good play.
I agree with that. I mean, Jose Altuve most days is a good play, and I think in this spot he's definitely a good play.
Robinson Cano is really cheap on FanDuel at 3,300. That's interesting.
Yes, that's a very interesting tournament play.
All right, let's move on. Cincinnati at St. Louis. Jaime Garcia, Tim Adelman. What do we make of this game? Like, we like picking on Cincinnati, but neither one of us are really high on Jaime Garcia. This is like every game now for St. Louis is like must win to try to catch San Francisco and New York.
Yeah, and Jaime Garcia will have like no leash at all, but this total is so interesting. It's St. Louis minus 200 on a 9 total, and that made me start try to figure out what the weather's going to be here tomorrow. And it's actually going to be a very normal 73 degrees here, so it's not a heat thing. So they have no respect for Tim Adelman at all, which means Cardinals bats, I think, are firmly in play.
Yeah, and I don't mind Jaime Garcia. I really don't.
No.
Dude, he's so cheap. 6,800 gets Kluber in. And
when was the last time? Okay, let's play a game. When was the last time he threw over 50 pitches in a start?
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I'm so glad you pointed that out. I was really thinking about him, wow.
His hook has been granted, a lot of that was out of the bullpen, but still, he's not firmly stretched out.
All right. Well, unless we get a news like he's going to pitch 90-plus pitches in this game.
You don't want Jaime Garcia in this spot. The hook is going to be so quick with Mike Matheny in this spot. Don't do it.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm off. I think you can play hitters from both sides of this game now.
Yeah, the question is just what hitter on earth would you ever roster from Cincinnati?
You already know who it is.
No.
Who am I rostering from Cincinnati? He's too expensive on DraftKings tonight.
Oh, that's good because that was not the guy I was looking at. Is Votto?
No, Peraza.
Oh yeah, he's 4K. Yeah, no.
I don't mind Votto.
I thought you were gonna try to say Adam Duvall, and I was gonna be like, he can't literally hit a beach ball.
No, and you know the last time you said that, a guy hit a home run.
I know, but it was still true.
You mentioned the St. Louis bats. This is a good spot. Carpenter, Diaz. If Moss is in the lineup, Gruchek, Piscotty.
Well, I have I feel very confident in saying that Stephen Piscotty will be a wash today.
You think so? Is he super cheap?
3.6.
Oh gosh, Michael Saunders and Piscotty washes in the outfield today.
Well, I would hope so, but that's up to Team Chalk to decide if they're going to wash with us.
Yeah, you really have to like Matt Carpenter's price on DraftKings tonight, 4,100. Like, I feel like we can just lock him in at second base.
Or maybe we'll slide him over to third. Gets us some Altuve.
Or Kipnis. We'll talk.
Yeah, there's definitely some good options at second base. Probably one of the deeper positions on the slate.
Matt Carpenter, really good play. Let's move on. Last game of the night. Oakland at LA, taking on the Angels. Jared Weaver against Sean Manaea. Is he in play here? Is Sean Manaea in play here against the Angels? I want to say no, but my body keeps telling me yes, Siege.
No.
I hope people got that reference.
Yeah, I do. He's been good at home, but no.
You say no, but like this is on the road.
Oh, good. He's been better on the road this year.
Yeah, but look at his last 3 starts. He hasn't given up an earned run in his last 3 starts, and 1 earned run in the start before that.
Houston twice, which is always a great spot, and then Kansas City. But again, the pitch counts: 61, 67, 85.
Oh man, why are coaches messing with my head?
Late September baseball. # late September baseball.
This just goes back to what we were just talking about. Make sure you're paying attention to stuff because obviously I'm overlooking it. So make sure you guys don't do that. No Weaver here, right? No Weaver. Chris Davis with a K. Yes.
Possibly.
Uh-oh.
Well, we can't give Team Chalk our entire team, right? I kid. I mean, obviously he's in play. I'm looking up BVP though. This could be just a weird situation where he can't hit Jared Weaver, or he's just going to murder him. Let's see what we got. 2 for 9. So, yeah, interesting. Not good history against him. So, we'll see.
Weaver's faced Oakland twice in the last 10 days, and not so good.
No?
Or last 10 starts. Last 10 starts.
Last 10 starts and not good?
Yeah. We could get us some Oakland exposure here for a late-game hammer against these guys.
Yeah, but it's a solo late game, so I have a feeling that both sides are going to have an interest in having a guy live here at the end.
Yeah, but who do you get live outside of Crush?
Mike Trout's good. Mike Trout's good at baseball.
Mike Trout is good at baseball. I definitely agree there.
Hot take, right? Very hot take.
Man, look at these pricings on this Oakland side.
They're really daring it too. The DK Ogden is saying, "Go ahead and play us if you dare."
Oh man, I'm definitely gonna have an Oakland stack in the tournament today.
Oh, you know who they're really daring me to play? Like super daring me to play. Let's see if he's got any BVP. He hasn't faced them yet. Man, that CJ Cron price is just begging to be rostered.
Isn't he struggling more against lefties now though?
Yeah, I think so. But 3.2.
Man, so many good first basemen.
Jeffrey Marte, 2.9.
Now I have a little bit more interest in Marte.
Oh, this pricing, man, we could have I'm glad there's not 2 elite pitchers to pay up for it because this will just be turned into pay up and value hunt.
For sure. All right, let's play some home run derby. I got some catching up to do from on Friday, so I've already told you I'm locking in Stanton as my number 1 pick. I'm going first. I don't care. I do what I want. That's happening.
It's fine. You never go first, so you can definitely go first in this spot.
It wasn't an option, CJ.
That's fine. No, I'm totally on board. I was just trying to be supportive of your decision since I knew I didn't have a choice anyways.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm not taking Terrell Pryor number 1. Let's be honest.
Oh wait. Man. You just got me really distracted. It was a big smile on my face again. Oh, Terrell Pryor, true hero, true hero today. Let me go take Edwin Encarnacion against whatever starter the Yankees roll out there.
E5, I like it. I like that. Man, I want to pick on Archie Bradley, but I can't. There's just I don't.
You don't know what the line's gonna be. You have no clue.
Yeah, I think Murphy and Harper are gonna sit here. I'm gonna go Carlos Santana.
I'm gonna go Brad Miller.
No. Oh man, just lock that home run in. Man,
you thought you were gonna sneak him in the 3rd round, didn't you?
No, I forgot about him. I'm so mad now. I'm gonna take him over Carlos Santana. Oh, so tilted. Thank you. I'm gonna go Chris Carter. He's gonna bang one out. This is a good spot for him.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there too.
Man, you took Miller from me.
You know what? A guy who's been really underowned in home run derby, which means that he's not going to hit one today. Gary the GOAT. Gary Sanchez.
We should be taking him every day. I don't know why he's not in the home run derby.
He's been unpicked in home run derby now for weeks, and all he's done is just hit home runs. You would think we would get a clue at some point.
All right, if we rule out Kluber and you need a pitcher to win today, not named Kluber or Hendricks, who do you got to win?
Let's see what my 15-sided coin says.
I think you'll like mine.
It says Chad Cole.
All right, I don't hate that.
I'm really counting on a bad Cubs lineup with that pick. If you get the Chalks Cubs lineup, then the answer is no. But I think we're going to see some pretty watered down version here.
All right, can I just take whichever pitcher gets more right-handed bats in the Arizona-Washington game is going to win? Is that cheating?
Kind of, but I'll allow it because I like the idea.
If Washington rolls out 7 and Arizona rolls out 8, then I'm taking Rorik. Flip side, I want whichever pitcher has to face more righties.
I'm totally on board with that. I will allow that as an acceptable answer because it's a great idea.
And I think that's going to be the SP2 that we talk about later too. Whoever. Man, I really like Archie Bradley in the spot. I really do. I really hope Murphy and Harper sit.
Just don't do what you did the last time and play all those lefties and just Don't do that. Just play the bad righties, please.
Right? Give us those righties. Might be all right. So real quick before we get out of here, two pitcher site like DraftKings, it might be a really smart idea to pay up for Kluber and Rourke. It really might be that way today.
I don't know if I want to fade Colin McHugh if we're going to do that. I can't believe we just said that out loud.
Well, I don't hate that idea in tournaments, but like we just seen so much value in that Oakland LA game with Jared Weaver and Manaea not pitching over 50 pitches. Sam, we have the value to pay up for two pitching.
The total of that game is really low, by the way. It's lowest on the board.
Oh God, why? Games that we expect to be low.
Marine layer, baby. Marine layer.
Dude, it's 97 degrees at first pitch.
In LA?
Yeah.
And the total's 8?
Yeah, so I don't know.
What do they know that we don't?
I don't know. Hottest game on the day.
97 in LA? Is that real?
Hottest game on the day.
There's no marine layer when it's 97 degrees out. What? All right,
81 by 9 o'clock. Like I need to talk to Boggs.
We definitely have to use a phone a friend to Boggs.
Going to any final thoughts before we get out of here, CJ? Besides Terrell Pryor is the GOAT and DeMarco Murray made me a lot of money.
DeMarco Murray, great call by you. Great call. Get his son DeMarco Murray. Terrell Pryor the GOAT. Going to be very popular next week. 4.3K on DraftKings.
Is he?
And the best part was people I somewhat respect said, I'm really happy to play cash games if he's going to be chalk at 4.3. I was like, what? So we will see.
You're joking.
No, I'm not. We'll talk about it off air. I kid not.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you guys haven't checked out rosters.com, make sure you head on over there. Check them out. Use promo code Grinders. That way you guys get the incentives here at Roto Grinders for free for a year. Make sure you guys are playing $100 in NFL, so you're getting that ticket and having a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip for two to the Super Bowl. I want it to be somebody that we know that listens to the podcast that locks into that trip. If it's not me, I hope it's one of you guys. Good luck in your contest tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.